So this thing doesn't use the same bolt pattern on the bottom. So this is the bottom. As you can see, it uses 6 bolts, but they're spread pretty far out. It's not a circular pattern like my Gerlich. So I could just drill new holes into my bolt or drill new threaded inserts and reinstall the, but I didn't want to put more holes on the top of my boat base. So what I did was I had some mounting plates made. And so how I made these was I took a sheet of paper, cut it to size, and I basically put the sheet of paper over where the holes were, and I traced where my bolts were, where the holes would go. And then the same sheet of paper, I put the shock pedestal on top, and then I traced the holes where I wanted the posts to go. Real easy to make. I took these 2 templates. From these 2 templates, I basically got this. So this is this template right here. That's the mounting plate. And there's the template for it. As you can see, it's pretty identical. And this is this template. There you go. Okay. So the beauty of this is that this uses the same threaded inserts that's installed from the factory to mount the base plate. And then what I do is I put this shock pedestal right over these threads, these threaded posts sticking up, and I just washer, nut, and bolt. I mean, washer and nut. And that's it, and it's secured down. I don't have to do no drilling. Everything lines up. It's removable. If I decide I want to sell this, get rid of it, replace it, it's removable. I don't have to like take lag bolts out, seal it back up, all that stuff. Okay, so that's what I've got for my system here, and that's how we're going to install this, and I'm going to go through how we did this. All right, so how this is going to work is I've got my mounting plates over here. So what you're gonna need is some kind of a adhesive sealant, 5200 or 4200, whichever, pick your poison. I'm using 5200. I've got some brass washers and nuts, and then I have some stainless bolts that's going to go inside the stainless steel plate into the recessed countersunk holes, and I have some nylon washers which will go on top the shock pedestal, so that way the metal isn't touching the aluminum. This is powder coated aluminum, so I don't want the 2 metals touching. So the stainless plate, so this thing's not sitting on the stainless plate directly. I'm going to use this insulating tape. It's a pipe insulating tape, and it will insulate the metal so they won't touch each other, so you don't get that electrolysis going on. So I'm going to tape up the bottom of the, not the bottom, but the base plate. I'm going to tape up the base plate, and so that way when the shock pedestal goes on top, they're not making direct contact. I'm going to put some grease on the threads, and then there's going to be a nylon washer that'll go underneath the metal washers, so that way the metal washers aren't touching the aluminum. Also, this is the slide swivel from Springfield, and so on the bottom here I'm going to also put the insulating tape on the bottom, covering the whole bottom except for the holes, so that way when this thing is mounted on top my suspension pedestal, same thing, we're not going to have the stainless touching the aluminum with the 2 metals touching each other. So everything's going to be nice and separated, and that should provide for long-lasting saltwater corrosion protection. Okay, this thing is set at 8 inches. I think it can be set all the way to 10. So I'm going to keep it at 8, and the sliding swivel seat bracket is an additional 3 inches. So I'm going to get about 11 inches of height here. And then my seat goes on top. So seat will go right on top. And this allows me to slide forward and back, and I can swivel 360. You know, if I didn't want to swivel, this thing would be a lot lower. It would only be about 1.5 inches. And if you're wondering, this slide swivel, it's aluminum and stainless. And this thing fits it exactly, bolts right up. And this is a Springfield slide swivel, a Springfield brand. I think the Gerlich may fit as well, but I found this one at West Marine, and they had it in stock, so I ordered it. So you can see there's 4 mounting holes right there, and that's going to bolt right to those 4 mounting holes right there, those slotted diagonal ones, and it would bolt right up there like that. And then this top has different holes, and that matches perfectly with the underside of my seat. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 mounting holes over here with threaded inserts, and that mounts perfectly. Let me try. All right, and here you go. That's the threaded hole right there and right there. It fits it perfect, bolts right up. So that's what we're going to be using for this install. And this is a Gerlich brand seat, but this is what comes with, I think it's pretty standard, but it's what comes with majority of the Boston Whalers from the factory. These were a factory, this is a factory original seat. Okay.